So I just completed my first three Posh shows. So I'm going to talk about Posh shows versus Whatnot. So if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned.
One, two, three, four.
Hi everyone, it's Stephanie from Three Queens Resell. And if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for joining me. And if you are a reseller bestie, hey, thanks so much. I do appreciate you for coming back and, of course, engaging with my content as I work on building my positive reseller community here on YouTube. I am working on my goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you are not yet subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you are interested in reseller content, and make sure you watch and like and all the things, and definitely leave me comments because I love to engage with my viewers. So today's video is my kind of recap of Posh shows versus Whatnot. So just a little background. I am a full-time reseller. Um, and so with my husband, we resell full-time, and so we need this money to to pay our bills. So what we do is that we source predominantly pre-owned clothing, shoes, and accessories. I do not do pallets. I do not do wholesale. Um, Everything that I have is sourced or given to me by friends and family. So we have one off pieces in our closet. So, with that being said, the idea of a live auction to move inventory is very exciting to me. I've done a little research and I know that it is extremely, live auctions are extremely successful in, other parts of the country. So, I feel like they will definitely take off and have already started to take off here in the United States. And so I feel like it is a part of our business that I had to get into when it became available here in the US. So, with that being said, I was super excited to um, start with Whatnot. So, I started with Whatnot. I signed up and I was approved on the first try for Whatnot, and I started in July. And since July, I tried to do at least two, but in some cases, three or four shows a day. I have done a total of of 22 Whatnot shows, and I have sold just over 100 items. Um, so, and I've made less than $300. No, let me look at that. Less than 500. Wrong, wrong. I'm looking at my spreadsheet. Wrong number. So like right at like 488. So that's an average of roughly like 390 an item. Um, so it is what it is. But then I've done three Posh shows and I've made $1,000, and I've sold. I haven't counted the items, but I sold 40 last night, 21, and see 20, so about 80 items, and I've made $1,000. So definitely a difference there. So here are my thoughts. First, of course, I'm going to talk about profit, the profitability. For me, I have over 100K followers on Poshmark. Poshmark is the primary platform that I sell on, so that is why the Posh shows are special to me, because I'm already on that platform. We already sell a lot on that platform. So we're very familiar. And so that is the benefit of Poshmark for me. It's not something like new that I'm learning because I'm on there every day anyway. And so the profits of my sales, um, I think, are a direct reflection of the 4 years I've already been on Poshmark and creating a following on Poshmark. So I already have followers. I already have people who like things in my closet. Whereas Whatnot, I have not been profitable. I would say I've really, really tried to be profitable over there. Um, with low starts and all that, it just has not worked for me. And I have less than 1,000 followers over there. Quite frankly, I don't have time to be on Whatnot all day, like following other people and other people's chat so that I can get followers. I just don't have time to do that. And so the fact that I've already built a following I already have a foundation on Poshmark, makes Posh Shows a better fit for me. Not to say that I don't want to still try to do Whatnot, but just right now, I don't have the time. I can't do two live auction shows. Those of you who are doing two live auction shows, kudos to you. I would like to maybe next year move back to trying to work on Whatnot again. But Posh Shows, I'm only going to do one and it's going to be Posh Shows. So I'm just going through the pros and cons of each. So, Whatnot, the profit just has not been there for me. I feel like there are a lot of resellers on Whatnot. I know people are saying that the buyer pool is growing, and I believe that it will. But like I said, as far as time on task, I don't have the time um, to keep preparing, 50 items for a show and then I make one sale for $5. If I was as profitable for me as it is for some of the bigger influencers, I would definitely stick with it. And I wouldn't have even tried Posh Shows, but it has not been. And so I took a stab at Posh Shows, and right now I'm really loving them. Like I said, I'm only 3 shows in. Things could change. So another issue for me, or difference between the two, is, and I've already mentioned, is the traffic. Now, on Poshmark, in the Posh Shows, the most I've had at any one time in a show is like 72. But of course, people come out, and I wish there was a way to capture how many total like people come in and out on both of the platforms. Maybe there is, and I just haven't done that. But on Whatnot, the most people I ever had come in a show was like 30, maybe 40. Um, but I have the just general traffic isn't there. And there would be times I would sit there and there'd only be like 7 people in a live on Whatnot. So the traffic is more constant on Poshmark, and I like that because people are already on the Poshmark app, organically shopping, not even because to go on Whatnot, you have got to want to participate in auctions. You have to be thinking, I want to go bid on some stuff today. Whereas Poshmark, you could just be organically on um, the app and be searching free people and realize like this free people that top that I have is currently in an auction right now, and you might come into my auction and see other things. So I think it's just there's more entry points for traffic, just natural traffic, and that's where I feel like people who have large followings and they're starting to do push notifications to followers. Like I said, I have over 100,000 followers, like I think 105,000 followers, which I know is minuscule compared to some of the other people. But if even 1% of those people um, get a push notification and come in my live, that is going to be like, I'll sell out every show. So just the traffic is another, is for me, has been better on Poshmark. I do see people killing it on Whatnot. Most of the people I saw killing it on Whatnot had huge social media following and they were influencers. I'm wondering if they're getting somehow pushed up in the algorithm. I don't know. Maybe just their following followed them over there. Um, I do not begrudge them that because they worked hard to build that following, and so they're reaping the benefits of that. But as just a beginner, I'm not a beginner reseller, but I'm beginning. I'm a baby as far as the social media stuff comes, um, and I still need to eat too. So like, and Whatnot is not providing that, you know. And I hear there are people who like started with 0 followers and they're killing it. They need to make some videos and tell us how. You know, like, so tell us other people how, because that was not my experience. And I feel like I worked really hard. I think my husband can tell you that I work really hard at Whatnot. Um, and I will say I was not successful as far as profit. Um, and so if there is a since there is another option out there at this time, I don't want to continue to put energy into building that when I already have a head start over here on Posh Shows. And then the ease of listing in the platform. Now I've heard people say that they like Whatnot's platform better, um, and that it was easier. I don't find it to be easier. I find that um, doing Whatnot really like we. I am an inventory person. And in fact, I spoke at Posh Fest about managing a large inventory. I talk about managing a large inventory and not losing things. But with the way, with Whatnot, and maybe it was the way that I was doing it, we were misplacing things because I would pull things for a show and then it wouldn't sell, but then we have to put them back and then, you know. So it created more work for us. And then I had to retake the pictures because they didn't naturally, they weren't in Poshmark or in Whatnot. So I have to take a picture. And then if I want to copy over the description or write a new description. And with Posh Shows, I just click on the listings. I know a lot of people are doing quick lists, and I do quick lists for a few things, but most of the 50 items that I run, I try to have items that are already all listed in our Poshmark closet so people can see the full description of the item in advance. So I feel like that is a benefit to, you know, Poshmark is the ease of listing. The fact that you can just, it's all done within the app and you can use your current listings. Um, so to wrap things up, I know that the best time to become successful at something is when you're like new to it. Um, And so right now, Whatnot, I feel like is going through some growing pains, and a lot of the bigger influencers have abandoned Whatnot and come back to Poshmark and are doing Posh shows. That to me is a smart business move. We all have to make money. This is a rough economy. Why sell your things on Whatnot for $3 when you can sell them on Poshmark for 15? There are plenty of things just within the last 3 shows that I've done that I tried to sell on Whatnot starting at $2 and they did not sell. Like I didn't have enough traffic in my auction to even move them for $2. So, and then I turn around and put them in a Posh show and they sell for 15, 17, 20 more like what I was expecting to get for them. So I think as a businesswoman, I would be foolish to um, continue on the path of Whatnot. I am like with the speed and velocity that I was. Now I do once things I do have a another job as a home-based caseworker that does take some of my time during the week. And so I just don't have the time to do 2 auction platforms and list and do all the ship and all the other things that we do. But perhaps when I leave that my other job and I'm just home full time reselling, we'll take up another auction platform. I'm hoping eBay gets into the live auction game. I think they already are, so I'm want to figure out how to get involved with that. But I think I'm just going to go with a more established platform, the platform that has um, more usage, more viewers, more clicks, because I feel like that is a smart business decision at that time. If you are successful on Whatnot, in the comments, leave me some tips and tricks. If you've made videos about it, um, definitely link those in the comments because I want people to hear both sides of the coin. I know some people just are real salty with Poshmark. They don't like the um, drawbacks. I'm going to tell you some drawbacks of the Posh shows is that the shipping is whack. There's no bundling feature right now, and so you if you want to offer your buyers one shipping fee, then you've got to do a lot of work on the back end. So after my show ended at midnight, I spent 2 hours bundling everybody's stuff, sending them offers, and then as they have accepted the bundles, going in and canceling the individual offers just to save them on shipping. And you don't have to do that on Whatnot. I know Poshmark is working on that and will roll that out bundles out when they get that, perfected. Another, I think, drawback is that it's limited push notifications right now. I know, you guys, these nails are horrific. I've been picking at them. I missed yesterday. I'm sorry. I just saw myself. I'm like, I'm going to go get them done tomorrow if I have to sit there all day. Um, but just as far as um, the push notifications, that's an issue. I would like for people to be able to bookmark my upcoming shows so that they could get. I like that about Whatnot. You could do that. I would like for people. I guess they are following me, and so I have followers, but I would like people maybe if there was another like category to follow like my posh shows or something. um I don't want to complicate things for Poshmark. I feel like for them to get this up and running as quickly as they did is a technological feat. um from what I've heard is that they were working on it previous, and then Whatnot came along and opened up the clothing, and then that you know promote encourage them to move it faster, which competition is good. A few things about live auctions in general that I think as resellers we need to consider is that it is going to drive down the price of comps. Already, I've seen the comps for Lululemon go down. That's just one that I've noted. So when you're pricing your items for auction or for listing, regular listing, kind of keep that in mind. There is a whole subset of people who are never, ever, ever going to step into a live auction. They're not going to do it. They need a pair of black leggings, they're going to buy them now. So make sure that you kind of price a little higher on your comps because I've seen the comps drop just within the last 2 months for items because of the live auction culture. When people are starting things at $1 and they're selling for $3, that is going to drop the comps in general for that category or that specific item. So if you're not doing live auctions, if you're doing listings, like I'm still listing things, then I have got to keep in mind that I need to look at the comps, kind of understand the comps, but then price a little higher because, um, like I said, there are people who are never going to take a chance on an auction. They want it and they're going to buy it. And I would say that is right currently a higher percentage than who would wait around for what they're looking for, their Lululemon black leggings in an auction. I think of auctions more as impulse purchases and the listings as more as like thought out. I'm looking for something specific purchases. Um, and so also as resellers, as this live auction wave has come in and like kind of shaking up the reseller community, I also think it's important to consider sourcing. If you We all know Stephanie sources at the bins. I do plenty of bins hauls. I get plenty of free inventory or low cost inventory. But some things I do pay up for, and those will not be auctioned off. They are going to have to unless I were to start them super high. I have a fur coat, downstairs that was probably, $900. Like, it was my mother in law's, but that is not something that I would auction off. I have, I'll show you. I was thinking about auctioning this off because it's breast cancer month, but this is a pink topaz pendant with a breast cancer symbol. So it can be worn clipped on or on this, it's on a chain, so it can be worn as a necklace as well. But this is not something that I want to risk, like even letting go for $20. So I want to make sure that I get fair market value on the resale market, and that is new, in box. So those are all things to consider. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are you Team Poshmark or Team Whatnot, or are you going to be friends with both of them and do both of them? Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Be sure to like this video if you are still here. And until next time, thanks so much for watching. And join me on Posh Shows. Make sure you're following me. On Poshmark, I do a show every night, so the time varies, but if you're following me, you will get a notification. Thanks so much, and until next time, bye.